All right, let's look at another example. I think I'm finished talking about this one. I split these videos up, and then I forget what in the world what I just talked about. Okay, good enough. All right, let's look at another relation. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, so that last relation was a function, okay, because all the first coordinates were completely different. Let's see if you can tell me with this relation, and you know what, I'm just calling this the set R here. So it's the set of ordered pairs such that y squared is equal to x, and our domain is going to be x is equal to 0, 1, and 2. That's going to be the only thing, the only numbers in our domain. I'm just, choosing three things. Trying to make it short, but at least get the concept through. So let's go down here. Y squared is equal to, now 0 is my x, so I'm plugging 0 in here. What numbers can I plug in for y to get 0 out? Well, the only number is going to end up being as 0, right? 0 squared is equal to 0. So in other words, I plugged in 0 for my x and 0 out for my y. Okay. Now let's look at this other one here. We have y squared is equal to 1. So what number can I plug in and square and I get 1 out? Well, I know that if I plug 1 in and I square it, I get 1 out. So we know that 1's related to 1. And there's another one. I can plug negative 1 into y because negative 1 squared is 1 also. So 1 and negative 1. Now keep in mind these numbers here, this 1 here, right? This is our x's are the domain, okay? Even though it looks like I'm plugging numbers into y, that's coming from our range. All right, let's do one more here. Y squared is equal to 2. Well, I know that if I were to plug in the square root of 2, because if I square the square root of 2, I get 2 out. And so therefore 2 being my x coordinate and the square root of 2 being my y coordinate. Also, if I were to plug in negative square roots of 2, I get a positive 2 out also. So you see there's two numbers, 2 and negative square roots of 2. Alright, well, try to make this short, so the domain is a 0, 1, and 2. Now let's look at this if we were to write R as the set of ordered pairs. So R is equal to, right, so the first one would be 0, 0. And then we could write 1, 1. And by the way, it doesn't matter what order you write these in, but we're writing it in this order right now. And of course you have 2 square roots of 2 and 2 negative square roots of 2. And I believe that's all of them. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at this relation. Question is this relation a function? And the answer to that is no, because you see our first coordinate here is a 1. We have another ordered pair in this set where the first coordinate is 1. So this is not a relation because remember, not a function, because in a function these first coordinates must all be different. Okay. So we could say that, right, so this is not a function. Okay. That relation there is not a function. But let's look at the domain. Let's look at the domain here. So the domain, what's in the domain? Well, we define the domain up here as 0, 1, and 2. But what is in the range? The range is going to be 0, 1,